Welcome back. All right, so 4 games tonight in the National Hockey League because it's Friday, so quiet night. But I left 2 columns for each game because you never know how many notes I'm going to take when there's only 2 games on early and 2 games on late. So better safe than sorry. All right, we're going to start things off with Detroit and Toronto. So this is the Hall of Fame game. So they had the Hall of Fame pre-show, and then there were some really long stretches of kind of boring hockey. And I was thinking, are they going to fall asleep up there? Because these guys are all older than I am, and Lord knows I was having trouble at times during these games tonight. Here and there. Just, I don't think I got enough sleep last night. Anyways, so it's Talbot versus Stolars. Another example of not getting enough sleep. Nylander has a sharp angle shot that's blocked out. The fans call one. The referee does not, so that started early. The Leafs score, but there's a goalie interference challenge, and yeah, it was pretty obvious that one was coming back, so no goal there. The shots are 3-1 Detroit 4 minutes in. Veleno has a rush chance that's blocked. Crossbar and out for Comfer on a rush chance. McMahon has a rush chance that's held. The Wings press at 9.5 minutes, but the Leafs would draw a power play and they score on it. Marner buries a rebound and close. This is a goal that went to Tavares and then Marner and then Tavares and then Marner, so it's the Hughes-Pettersson situation from the other night all over again, even though I don't think Tavares was anywhere near able to put that puck in. So it's Marner from Nylander and Riley at 11 minutes and 12 seconds. And if the Abs change it back to Tavares, it's just wrong. The Wings press to respond. The shots are 8-5 for the Leafs with 6 minutes left. Nice to Marner. There's a near miss there. The Wings press with 3.5 minutes left. And with 40.4 seconds left, the Wings get a power play. So it's 1-0 Toronto after 1. The power play rolls over into the second period. The Leafs finish the kill there. Kane is denied from the slot. The Leafs have a 2-on-1 that misfires. Toronto presses at 4.5 minutes, but the shots are 4-3 Detroit, 5.5 minutes in. Pacioretty with a near miss, and then the Wings rush. We get a power play for Detroit. They score on this one. On a good cycle, Larkin roofs one from the left circle. Raymond and DeBrincat with the assists at 9 minutes and 10 seconds. We then get a power play for Toronto not long after, and at 12 minutes and 1 second, Tavares goes far corner from the slot. Marner and Riley with the assists. So Morgan Riley with a couple of helpers tonight. The Wings go back to the power play. That's killed off. Berggren to Tarasenko. There's a near miss there. Holmberg has a slot shot. That's tipped wide. It's 2-1 Toronto after 2. Third period, the Leafs press at 2.5 minutes. The Wings get pinned down for a bit. The Leafs even get a line change in, but it was the third and fourth line, so it's not the hands guys that are on the ice. Kampf has a shot that's held. And that gets the Wings a line change. So Talbot just could not wait to get that puck because they needed a line change desperately. The shots on net are only 2-1 Toronto at 6.5 minutes. Neither team with much of a path to the net in that period. Tavares has a net feed that's picked off. Holmberg has a rush chance that's blocked. Stolars, maybe the highlight of the game is the goaltender holding a puck with his bare hand. Like, I'm so glad that this season has seen the emergence of Stolars as a starting goaltender in the NHL. He's paid his dues. He's earned it. It's nice to see. Larkin's denied in close. The puck's cleared. And then Talbot heads off, and Detroit immediately gives the puck up, and Tavares hits the empty net at 18 minutes and 30 seconds. So, honestly, it was a turnover. You could see Larkin just doubled over after that, just mad at himself. And your final score is 3-1 for Toronto. They go to 8-5-2 with the win. Detroit drops to 6-6-1. Shots on net, 10-8 Toronto in the first, 6 apiece in the second, and 8-4 Detroit in the third. The shots are only 22-20 for Detroit. Power plays, Detroit 1 for 3, Toronto 2 for 2. So, every goal was on the special teams except the empty netter. The hits, 23-14 Toronto. Talbot, 17 saves on 19 shots. Stolars, another good game for him. 21 saves on 22 shots. And I'm picturing in my mind now that there's a Hall of Famer that was attending the game that's still asleep somewhere in the stands. And that's modern hockey for you. All right, next up, Pittsburgh and Washington. I'm kidding, of course. The league is a very exciting one. Just there were parts of that game that were not. So Pittsburgh and Washington, I considered the shock llama here. I think we're early in the season for the shock llama in this situation, though, because I think Pittsburgh's underachieved, and I think Washington's probably overachieved a bit. So it's Blomqvist versus Lindgren, as Blomqvist continues to show that he is the goalie for the Pittsburgh Penguins right now. Protas fires one wide from the high slot. Plenty of early whistles, stops and starts, and then at 3 minutes and 11 seconds, Pittsburgh gets on the board. It's Carlson from Malkin and Crosby. He wires this one from the inner slot. So Erik Karlsson had a rough night last night against Carolina. Much better night tonight against the Capitals. The Caps then get a power play. Strome has a wrister that's held. That's killed off. The Penguins press after the kill's done. And on a rush chance, Bunting makes it 2-0. He scores from Erik Karlsson at 6:59. So yeah, 2-0. Does not stay that way. At 8:22, Sandin roofs one from the left circle for his first of the season. McMichael and Wilson with the assists. It's 2-1 Pittsburgh. Shots are 8-4 for the Penguins at 9 minutes. Penguins draw a power play. There's a shorthanded rush by Protas. Washington does kill that off. The Caps then get a turn on their power play, which has had its struggles. Ovechkin has a one-timer this block. That power play is killed off as well. Penguins press with a minute and a half left. They're up 2-1 after one. Second period. Early press by the Caps. The teams exchange rushes. Duhaime has a screenshot that's held. The shots are 4-1 Capitals at 4 minutes. Raquel nearly gets one. Puck's cleared out after that. And then Mangiapane on a perfectly executed 2-on-1. He scores from Vrana and Lapierre at 6 minutes and 4 seconds. So that makes it a 2-2 tie. In fact, 8 minutes in, the shots are 7-1 for the Capitals. Then there's a press by the Penguins at 8.5 minutes. The fans call one. The referee does not. Ovechkin has a slot shot that's defended. He is not able to get that shot on net. Wilson's robbed on a net drive. Raquel's then denied. And then the puck goes the other way, and Ovechkin's denied at the other end as he just jumped onto the ice, and he's like, I'll take that puck. Strome nearly gives the Caps the lead, and then Strome fires one high on a fast break. Things are pushy on a hold by Bloomquist. It is all Capitals late in that period, but it's 2-2 after 2. Third period. The Penguins had the only shot on net 2.5 minutes in. I don't know what Mike Sullivan said to these guys in between periods, but that third period was something different for Pittsburgh. Pressed by the Penguins at 3.5 minutes. They're kept to the outside, but then Karlsson has a shot that's held as the Penguins are building some momentum. In fact, shots are 4-0 Pittsburgh 7 minutes in. Ovechkin's denied as the Caps press. Lindgren, pretty sharp on a turnover. He holds on. And then Malkin buries a net feed on a rush. Rust and Letang with the assists at 10:38. That gives the Capitals a hill to climb as the Penguins now have a lead again of 3-2. Penguins then go to the power play. That would become 40 seconds of 4-on-4 before the Caps go to their power play. Everything gets killed off. And the net minding. The goaltenders, absolutely fantastic tonight. Both Bloomquist and Lindgren with many acrobatic saves. Just great night by both of them. Radish is then robbed on a face-off win. Strome breaks up a 2-on-1. The goalie pull happens with 3:07 left. The Caps call a timeout with 1:23 left. And the empty net is hit by Achari at 19:37 from Marcus Pettersson. So the Penguins win 4-2. They go to 6-8-2 with the win. With the loss, the Capitals 9-4 on the season. Shots on net, 11-10 Pittsburgh in the first, 18-10 Washington in the second, and 10-6 Pittsburgh in the third. One of the best periods of hockey Pittsburgh's played all year. Final shots are 34-32 for the Caps. Power plays, the Penguins 0-2, the Capitals 0-3. The hits 20-19 for Washington. Bloomquist, 32 saves on 34 shots, and Lindgren, 28 saves on 31 shots. And now, I need to change boards. All right, so the Anaheim Ducks at home against the Minnesota Wild, and I'm just going to say this. Yeah, the Ducks had a rough start tonight, and Minnesota is still rolling. So it's Gustafsson versus Dostal. There's a post for Faber early on. The rebound's cleared. Vetrano's then denied from the slot. In fact, 4 minutes in, the shots are 2-1 for Anaheim. Lacombe has a wraparound chance that's held. The Ducks press at 7 minutes. Eriksson Ek has a rush chance that's saved, and then Middleton buries one from the high slot. Eriksson Ek with the assist at 7 minutes and 31 seconds. Ducks press for a response, but on a rush, Foligno wires one from Goudreau and Faber at 9:10. I also wrote the word oof because I thought Dostal should have had that one. An unusual goal allowed by Dostal, but let's just say it. He's being played a lot, and so while I understand he's been the best goaltender statistically in the NHL, Igor's right in that conversation too, of course, from the Rangers, but maybe it's time to give him a night off. Gibson was his backup tonight, so maybe Gibson plays in the next game. Minchukov is a net drive chance that's held, and then at 12 minutes and 30 seconds, during a delayed penalty on the Ducks, Kaprizov scores from Chisholm and Zuccarello. It's 3-0 Minnesota with 3 goals in a little less than 5 minutes. We then get a power play for Anaheim. Back-to-back clears by Minnesota. They do kill that off. The Wild press to close it out. It's 3-0 Minnesota after 1. Second period, there's early chances for the Ducks. Dostal holds one amidst a crowd at the net. Penalty shot for Zegras, and he misses. And Zegras is really fighting the puck right now. Like, There were so many opportunities tonight where I was like, he's going to get it here. Nope. So it's got to be bugging him. It's one of those things. They have to get Trevor Zegras going. There's a press by the Ducks at 3.5 minutes. In fact, the shots are 7-3 Anaheim, 5.5 minutes. The Ducks go, and I wrote on the board tic-tac-doe because it was pass, crisp pass, and then just a whiff on that last pass. They're getting some pressure, but just the little misses. Again, Zegras missing the net. This tic-tac-toe play that the guy who had the toe just fumbled getting that pass, and it's just a lot of little things, and you could hear the fans getting frustrated. The Wild then get a power play. That's killed off. The Ducks then get a turn on the power play. There's a shorthanded rush by Lauko, which ends that, so a good kill. Wild press after it ends. Zellweger gets denied on a rush. Hartman to Foligno. There's a near miss there. The shots are 10-8 for Anaheim with 4.5 minutes left. More pressure by Anaheim with 3.5 minutes left. Trennan then gets robbed on a net drive. With 44.6 seconds left, the Ducks get a power play. That leads to a shorthanded rush chance by Trennan, which is saved. It's still 3-0 Minnesota after 2. Third period. The Wild finish the kill. Minnesota presses at 2 minutes. And then on a turnover rush from the right circle, Robbie Fabry gets Anaheim on the board. That's at 2 minutes and 16 seconds. It's 3-1. The Wild look to respond. In fact, the shots are 3-1 Minnesota at 4 minutes. The Ducks press at 5 minutes. Anaheim goes back to the power play. Near miss for Zegras. He hits the side of the net. Power play's killed off. The Ducks go back to the power play, and it's 4 minutes. This is where the fans start yelling shoot, and the Ducks don't. The funny thing is, I've been amidst crowds where fans are chanting shoot in Vancouver, and a lot of the time it's just the penalty kill is not giving them the path to the net. So if you take that shot when you don't have a path to the net, it's going to probably hit one of the defenders. They may take it. You may be leading to a shorthanded rush the other way. So I understand the frustration. Also with the Ducks, the offensive numbers being as low as they've been, and they've been this way for years, you can see that their confidence is a little bit fragile there. So we have 5 on 3.5 as I think Vetrano. No, who was it that was without a stick? One of the Minnesota players was without a stick in their own zone. And I'm struggling to remember who it was. But Vetrano has a shot that's saved and it deflects out. So even though it was 5 on 3.5 for a bit there, Minnesota, they get out of that. So they kill that off. And yeah, there's some boos heard at the end of that. Just some frustration from Anaheim fans. And then there's a turnover and Rossi buries one. Kaprizov with the assist at 14:20. Dostal thought that puck was going around the net. Kaprizov steals it, gives it to Rossi. It's in the net before Dostal even knows that Minnesota's got the puck. 3:45 left. The Wild go to the power play, and they score on it. At 17:42, it's Kaprizov burying one in close. Rossi and Faber with the assists. And then at 19:47, Anaheim would get on the board. McTavish has one that deflects over Gustafsson into the net. Gudas and Vakanainen with the assists. And then at the end of the game, there's some punching at the horn. Bogosian and Gudas were tied up, and I'm guessing they were arguing over whose beard is better. It was a beard battle. But yeah, a 5-2 win for the Wild. They go to 10-2-2 with the win. With the loss, Anaheim 4-7-2, and this is just rolling the wrong way for Anaheim. Shots on net, 10 apiece in the first, 15-12, Anaheim in the second, 9-8, Anaheim in the third. Final shots, 34-30 for the Ducks. Power plays, Minnesota 1 for 2, Anaheim 0 for 6. The hits, 21-9 for Anaheim. Gustafsson, 32 saves on 34 shots. Dostal, not very Dostal-like numbers of 25 saves on 30 shots. But again, you play a goaltender as much as they've been playing Dostal, and eventually that kind of a game will show up. All right, last game of the night, Vegas and Seattle. And if you want a surprise, to me this is kind of a bit of a surprise. So it's Hill versus Decord, good early back and forth. Eichel has a shot that's blocked out. Kraken press, but they're kept to the outside. Barbashev can't bury one in close. The shots are 2 apiece, 4.5 minutes into the period. Gord's denied on a turnover. The Kraken then draw a power play. Tolvanen has a one-timer. That's saved. Power play's killed off. Vegas then gets a turn. It's actually 2 minutes of 5 on 3 for the Vegas Golden Knights. Dorofeev misses one high. He doesn't miss the next one. It's a tic-tac-toe play. Dorofeev from Roy and Eichel at 10:14. Now the Kraken do kill off the 5 on 4. The shots are 8-4 for Seattle with 7.5 minutes left. And at 13:30, Roy on another tic-tac-toe play scores from Barbashev and Eichel. So you can either look at that as great offense by Vegas and having great passing, or poor defensive coverage by Seattle it's probably a mix of both there. Vegas presses with 5 minutes left. Carlson has a fast break shot that's held. And then on a breakaway, Brandon Tanev gets the second goal of the season at 17:20. Makes it 2-1 for the Vegas Golden Knights. The Kraken, though, then look to tie it after that goal. So it's 2-1 after one. Second period. Eichel has a rush chance that's defended. We get a power play for Vegas. That's killed off. Vegas presses after it's done. Schwartz is denied as the Kraken gets some pressure. And then they lose the faceoff to the Seattle Kraken, but they recover it. And Tanev buries one from Karche at 7 minutes and 12 seconds. So nice play by Karche to steal the puck. Gets it to Tanev. Tanev's second goal of the game. Tanev and Mahura are then denied as the Kraken are pushing, looking for the lead. Kraken press with 5 minutes left, and the emotions are starting to go up. Vegas doesn't like it when other teams come back and score goals on them. Schwartz has a high slot shot that gets held, and it's 2-2 after two. Third period, there's an early press by Seattle, and then Bjorkstrand buries one right over Hill at 2 minutes and 57 seconds to give Seattle their first lead of the game. Burakovsky's then denied on a net drive as Seattle's looking for another. You could see that desperation with Seattle tonight. They understand the danger they're in right now of if this record doesn't turn around for them, they're not going to be looking at a playoff spot. And I know it sounds early, but we're 15 games into the season. We're almost a quarter of the way through. So Theodore's robbed from the slot. The shots are 4-1 for Seattle 5 minutes in. We then get a power play for Vegas. That's killed off. Eberle fires one high on a rush. Vegas presses with 5 minutes left. McCann has a rush chance that's saved. More pressure by Vegas with 3 minutes left. They pull the goalie with 2.5 minutes left, and eventually they get one. Pietrangelo ties it from Theodore and Eichel at 18:38, and a bit of a lucky bounce for Vegas in that it goes in off Adam Larsson's skate. Then in the overtime, because it's a tie game, Vegas controls early, but Montour steals it, gets it to McCann, and he buries it on a breakaway at 29 seconds. So Seattle wins this one 4-3 in overtime. Again, they desperately needed this. They go to 6-8-1 with the win. With the overtime loss, Vegas drops to 9-3-2 on the season. Shots on net, 11-10 Seattle in the first, 13-5 Seattle in the second, and then 9-7 Vegas in the third. Seattle had the only shot of overtime. It's all they needed. Final shots, 32-24 for Seattle. Power plays, Vegas 1 for 4, Seattle 0 for 1. The hits, 31-26 for Seattle. Hill saves 28 out of 32, and Decord saves 21 out of 24. So Vegas still just the one road win so far this season. They had opportunities, just in the end, Seattle, again, I think it's that desperate hockey they needed to play, and they're going to need to do that for a while to get their record evened up and to keep themselves in the hunt for a playoff spot. So let me know your thoughts in the comments section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe in the event you may not have done so already. Thank you guys so much for all your support as always. I will talk to you again soon.